Okay guys, good evening. This is June the 19th and we're in another Vintage Daily event, and we've brought our MUD deck back in, Forgemaster MUD, and our first round opponent's name is Ranger Wayne, and we don't know what he's on, and we won the die roll. So, this is a pretty good hand. We can actually play out a turn 1 Lodestone Golem, which is pretty good. So we're going to try and do that. We also have a Chalice of the Void. The question is, do we set it at 0? Which I think we might. I think we might want to do that. Regardless, let's see if we can get this thing into play. That's the first stage. And we did. And let's try getting a Lodestone in. And we did, and we'll just pop a Chalice in at 0. Not sure what we're up against, but we do have a Wasteland here, or we can play a Lodestone Golem next turn. So pretty reasonable start for us here. I think it's going to be hard for the opponent to get over top of 2 Lodestone Golems, but we'll see what happens here. You know, being able to play a turn 1 Lodestone Golem is just such a powerful play. Plowed in for 5 here. So worst case scenario, next turn we can play a Thorn, which is not insignificant. And if we draw a land, then we can play a Forgemaster, which is very, very good here. So let's hope our opponent is unable to do anything this turn. You know, he could tap his mana, and, or he could play well, I was going to say he could play Black Lotus, but of course Black Lotus will be countered under Chalice, so I don't suspect he's got too many options here. He's going to be under an awful lot of pressure here next turn. He's was in 4 points of lethal. And should he play a dual land here, it's assuredly over. And he did play a dual. Okay, Revoker is not very good here, particularly in light of the fact it's going to cost him a land. This is an interesting build we're playing against. It looks like some type of fish deck anyways, with some Revokers in it. And if that's the case, that could definitely be a tougher match for us in game 2, or tougher games in 2 and 3. Because they typically have a lot of artifact hate in them. But okay, so we did not get a land, so I am going to Wasteland him here, and I'm going to get a Thorn in, and we're going to plow. Okay, so there's game 1. With that being the case, I do like having the Steel Hellkite. Whether we want 2 of them or not is a different story. Probably we'll just take out a Chalice of the Void here and leave things as is. Staffin should be very good in this matchup. Usually in these little decks, though, they do have, like these little Fish Bear decks usually have a lot of land hate in them. And if that's the case, we just may want Crucible of Worlds here. So I think we will take the Hellkite back out, and also another Chalice. I think we'll just try that. We were able to take this exact deck list to a 4-0 last night in the Vintage Daily, so I'm optimistic we can do it again. Now this is a little bit of a higher risk hand. However, we do have the turn 1 Crucible or the turn 1 Trinisphere, and I think it'll depend on what our opponent plays here and what we draw. But obviously the safest play is for us is to be able to play out a Crucible in the event we get wastelanded, because if we do, we're just cooked. If I rip another Workshop, I would probably lead straight out with a Trinisphere. That's of course unless my opponent leads out with a land and two Moxes or something like that. Then it's not nearly as potent as a play. But I think the safe play here is to get the Crucible out. We still got 2 or 3 turns of feasible plays just off the Workshop alone. Okay, Cavern of Souls. He's playing humans, so he is going to have a turn 1 human play here, it looks like. Okay, that's just fine. I don't foresee that being a problem. Okay, so we did rip a land here, Mishra's Workshop, which is just awesome for us. And as a result of that, we may, I don't know how many, if my opponent has another land, maybe the Trinisphere is not great, I don't know. Maybe we just do go for the Trinisphere here. What would suck is if he killed our land and played something like a Thalia. This is definitely a Hate Bears deck. I just don't know that Trinisphere does enough for us here. That's my thing. He's got 2 lands. Let's just play things safe. I feel like Crucible is just the safe way to go here. Perhaps that's a wrong play, I'm not sure, especially in light of the fact we have the second Workshop. But, you know, if he does something like plays a Kataki here or something like that, at least we have a duplicant available to us. And hopefully he doesn't play anything else here, which of course is unlikely. And he did get a Thalia and a Wasteland, or Strip Mine. Okay, so we made the right play here. We absolutely made the right play. And he does not have lands, so I am going to... I'm actually going to play out a Chalice at 0 here. Oh, I can't do that. Okay. I'm just going to play out the Trinisphere here. Now, for sure this is... oh, we can't do Trinisphere. I guess we'll play the Sphere of Resistance here. I'm much more apt to... Actually, Chalice of the Void is just terrible against him anyway, so... Now, if he rips out another Wasteland here, I mean, this is not as good as a play for sure, but we should be able to stabilize at some point against his fish here. And if he misses a land drop here, I feel like we're in pretty good shape. You'll have to excuse me, that sound that you're hearing in the background is my poker chips. I like to roll poker chips while I'm playing. So we're going to need to get a little bit fortuitous here for him not to have a land. And the fact he's thinking about things here makes me think that he does have something. And he does. So we're going to see another Hate Bear here. And hopefully this is not a Quasali Pride Mage. That would be really bad for us. And it's not. Okay. Wonder if he's trying to cast something that's 3 casting cost with my Sphere of Resistance here. Hopefully he got the wrong land for that. Okay. So that's what he was trying to do, was cast a 3 caster. So I feel pretty good that we got that sphere down, and of course we'll be able to follow that up with a Lodestone Golem. Okay, Deathray Shaman's reasonable. Ooh, strip mine. That could be good late game. So we absolutely have to... Now, we actually could go and get a steel Hellkite here. Eventually. I think right now, we just get a Lodestone Golem in. And I mean, the Chalice of the Void, we could throw this thing down at 0 here, and we just strictly use it as fodder. And I think... Oh, we've got 2 of them down now. 2 spheres, okay. So that's fine. And next turn we have the strip mine. So the good news, I was going to say our opponent doesn't have any white mana, but they actually do with the Deathrite Shaman, and they can quite easily remove our Lodestone Golem with something like a Path to Exile or Swords to Plowshares. I think our next turn, our play has to be able to set a Chalice at 1. It's a pretty strong play, and then we can strip mine. That's if everything stabilizes here. Black Lotus. So yeah, it makes me wish we actually got that Chalice down at 0, but because that's a pretty powerful play. Maybe our best bet is to just actually go for that Kadoltha Forgemaster and try and get a Steel Hellkite here. Okay. So this is pretty good for us. So first thing first, I mean, listen, the Kadoltha Forgemaster is really good. There's no doubt. Maybe I just try and set a Chalice at 1. It's going to cost me 4 mana to do it, which leaves me with 3 mana not being able to cast anything. The reality is I just need to go after his lands here. I am going to play out a Forgemaster to just hold the ground down. He's only got 2 cards in his hand. And hopefully we can strip lock him. He does have the Black Lotus. Now, of course, he's got the Deathrite Shaman. We don't have a strip lock here. I was thinking we did, but we don't. Yeah, we just have to get a Forgemaster down. We just don't have any choice. I think we've just got to play cautious here. I'm not going to attack quite yet, and okay, hopefully he does not have an end of turn play. He didn't, which is good. And hopefully we get to use. Hopefully he didn't use the Deathrite Shaman there, so he's got another Cavern. So we might see his big play right here, and we do have a duplicate we can cast if he doesn't take away our strip mine here. Which would be a tremendous error on our opponent's part to not do that, but I've seen crazier things happen. Okay. That's fine. It's not great, but it's tolerable. Okay, land. Oh, wow. Nice. Okay. Well, we've got a Metamorph here. Yeah, I'm going to Metamorph. And and we will play out a Chalice at 0. And I think this is pretty reasonable. We can attack him here. He would have to trade. Yeah, he'd have to trade his Deathrite Shaman and the Aegis, which I think is fine for a lodestone. Yeah, we got to start attacking in here. And I think it's reasonable for him to double block here. I mean, he kind of has to. And he didn't. Okay, so that was really good news for us. Now the question is here is, do we Kadoltha? Like I could sack my Forgemaster, the Chalice, and the Sphere. Hopefully we don't get wastelanded. Okay, what's he doing? Kadoltha Forgemaster. So here we go. Maybe I just go and get a Worm Coil here. Yeah, you see, you can name Staff of Nin. Otherwise, Staff of Nin would just be phenomenal here. I can get one hit off it. Or do I just go for a big guy? Sundering Titan's going to be tremendously hard for him to kill. Steel High-Kite is okay, but he's going to set it on it. Staff of Nin just draws me a lot of cards. I think I'm just going to go for Staff of Nin here. And I'm just going to take his Thalia. And I mean, he can name Staff of Nin, that's fine. We're still drawing a lot of cards off it, and that is a powerful thing. Now, you can easily debate that that was not correct, and maybe I should have went for a Sundering Titan or something like that, but Staff of Nin, that's fine. Oh, that's a nice draw. So is that. Okay. Wish we could use that, but let's attack with one of our golems here. I mean, he's got incentive to block it because he's under my spheres here, but and he's taking it. Okay. Now let's get another Staff of Nin in here. Actually, do we want a second staff right now? I think that's a bit greedy. I think I'm just going to play Duplicant and take his Deathrite Shaman. Because that takes him off the colored manas he may need. I've found Staff of Nin to be really good. It just allows you to pull away so quickly in these type of matches, so I'm feeling quite happy that I have two of them in my deck, as well as have a couple Metamorphs. Let's see what our opponent has here. Yeah, he did have an STP, so just couldn't cast it.